Everybody, I'm going to be telling you two stories today. One of them is Sleeping Beauty in the Woods, and another is Cinderella. Both of them are very good stories, and I'm going to tell you Cinderella first. First, what happened was there was a husband. He was very rich, and he had one daughter named Cindrella and her wife. They were living happily, but then her wife died. And then Cinderella was very sad. So then Cinderella's father, he married another woman. But this time, she was very wicked. And she had two daughters. Very wicked. They were always telling Cinderella to wipe the floor, sweep the ashes, light up the fire, get some good dresses for me. It was like this. And then she was sweeping, cleaning, lighting, picking dresses and anything. So she was doing this, and then the king said to all the women, come to my palace so that I can see who is the most beautiful, and then I can marry her. And then everyone's like, okay, we can come. And then every woman came except Cinderella, because she had to clean the floor. What could she do? She was sweeping, and then finally a mice came up to her and said, "Your godmother is outside. Go meet her, and she'll give you a wish." And then she said, "Oh, I can get a wish." And then she ran to the door. And then she saw it's her godmother. And then her godmother said, "Dear daughter, would you want a wish?" And then she said, "Yes, I do want a wish." And then she said, "Give me 5 pumpkins." And then she rushed to the garden and went to go get 5 pumpkins. She went and came back, and then she said, "Here you go." Then the godmother said, "What do you want as your wish, my dear?" What Cinderella said, "I want a beautiful dress, and I want a coachman to go to the princess' palace." She said, "Okay, my dear." She took 1 pumpkin and just tapped it with her wand, and then it became into a beautiful dress. She took another pumpkin and tapped it again. It became into beautiful slippers. She tapped it again. It became into a coachman. And then she tapped another pumpkin to make the horse cart. She tapped it again to just make her more beautiful than ever. Then she was going to the princess palace, and then she sat in the cart, and then she went. She was going, and then finally reached. And then she went inside. Her mother nor sisters did not recognize her. She was like, "Oh, these people don't recognize me, so I can do whatever I want." Then the prince said, "Do you want to dance with me?" And she said, "Yes." Not once, not even twice, multiple times. He said, "Would you want to dance with me? Would you want to dance with me?" A lot of times. And then finally, it almost struck 12. She rushed out because her godmother said, "Make sure you go before 12. Otherwise, all the magic that I gave you will all go away." She rushed to the horse cart, and then the horses ran to the home. And then finally the godmother tapped each thing, and then they became into ordinary pumpkins. Then she just ran and ran and cleaned the house, trying to, just pretending like she's been doing it for the whole time. She's like, I will take this pumpkin, put it in the garden, and then I'm going to just take a wipe and try pretend cleaning the floor. So then they'll feel like, oh, I've been here for the whole time sweeping. And then her mother and sisters came. And then what happened? Next day, they said, hey, this is the slipper of that beautiful lady. And the prince said, and then told his men, go get whoever's foot fits perfectly in. They went all over town. No one was found. Then they came to Cinderella's home. Then first her mother trying to fit her shoes. It did not even go, her toes did not even go in. And then she said, my foot fits perfectly, she was trying to say. But no, it did not, the men said. Then came the other sister. Then they tried to put their foot in, but her ankle didn't even go in. The older sister tried. Her ankle did not go in. It was more out. Then it came Cinderella's turn. It fit perfectly. So then she went to the prince's palace and then married him and lived happy after again. So that's one of the stories named Cinderella. Now I'll tell you another one named Sleeping Beauty in the Woods. Once upon a time, there was one king and another queen, just like the before story. They were very, very sad. They didn't have any daughters nor sons. But then something very happy happened one day. They finally got their first kid. They were very, very happy. And then they ordered 7 fairies to come to their palace. 7. Then he had, for each fairy, he had one plate made out of gold and a fork, a spoon, and a knife made out of gold as well. And on that they had diamonds and even rubies and emeralds. And he prepared good food for them and served them. And then another fairy came. She was not invited because she was a very old fairy and she had wicked powers. So she just popped up into the middle of the castle and said, what coincidence! I have not been invited to the castle and still I came. Wow! Where's my plate? And where's my fork? Where's my knife? And where's my spoon? The king said, I'm sorry. We only built that for only 7 fairies. We did not know you were also coming. So he said, why don't we give you ordinary plates and knives and spoons and a fork? Why don't we give you ordinary ones? She said, no, I don't want to be doing this. Anyways, the other 7 fairies finished their food, and now it was time to give the daughter gifts. The first one said, I want her to dance very nicely. Second one said, I want her to draw very nicely. Third one said, I want her to be beautiful. Fourth one said, I want her to be the nicest kid in the world. The fifth one said, she should know how to swim. Sixth one came. She should know how to play with different people. Finally, the wicked fairy's turn came. She said she should prick her finger on a spin wheel and she should die because of the wound. But now there's still one more fairy. But she couldn't reverse the magic. But she did something else. She said, yes, she should prick her finger on the spin wheel, but she should not die. She should be asleep for 100 years. And then the prince, the king's daughter, the king's son should come and awake her. And they should be the next prince and princess. That was all the gifts they gave. And then they all went home. And then her child grew up to be 10 years old. And then the prince, the king, and the queen, their mother and father, were playing hide and seek with her. She was going outside the castle, going inside, going floor up, going floor down. She was having very much fun. But they kept on finding her. But then she felt like, I have to go to the very top. I never seen it at the first place. And another thing, I'll be safe there, and then my mother and father cannot catch me and find me. Then she was going up, and then she saw an old lady spinning. She said, what are you doing, old woman? She said, I'm spinning. And then she said, would you want to have a try? And then she said, yes, I would love to. She was trying and she loved it very much. Then she pricked her finger. And then she was into a very, very deep sleep for 100 years. Everyone was trying to wake her up, throwing water at her. Nothing happened. And then they took her down to her bedroom. And then they're all very sad that the princess is asleep. So that's why they all started to hold her, like completely touch her. While doing so, they also completely froze into place. And then, 100 years after, came the prince, the son of the king. And then they said, then he said, where's the princess? I want to meet her. And then he knocked on the door. No one's there. The door is open anyway. So then he just went out in. He was going up and seeing every single room. There was no one there. And then he finally went to Cinderella's room. And then he saw everyone frozen. And then he said, what is this thing? Everyone's frozen? And then he saw who was on the bed. It was the princess. He said, "I wish you could be not unfrozen right now," and kissed her on the hand. And then she woke up. And then everyone woke up, actually, because they were all frozen. And then everyone got unfroze. And then the prince said, "I've came for the princess, and I have to live with her now." And then the king and the queen said, "Yes." And then Cinderella went to the prince's palace. The prince. Then they lived happily after again. So that was my 2 stories that I was going to tell. And now it's finished. So yeah, bye. Okay? And till then, I'm going to do another one like this. Till then, bye.